I don't want there to be a copyright strike on my live stream. Yeah, I'm looking out for you, buddy. Don't worry about it. I'm actually paying attention. All right. Well, figure. Let me say what I want to say. I gave the stream about 5 minutes to breathe. Nobody's here, so I guess people will probably watch when everything's all said and done. Or maybe YouTube is just not sending out notifications. But at any rate, I guess this will be for those who check this out later. You guys see the title: "No BS plus no excuses equals victory, triumph." You know, this week I didn't have my clients, and it would have been very easy for me to say, you know what, I could save gas, I could save my parking spot. I could save aggravation by not getting into the gym. And I could do workouts at home. I did pretty well on my own. I could just rationalize that and not do anything. But I really wanted to help the wife out today. Because 2 days a week, when I go in, I bring her with me. It's a less stressful commute for her. I said, you know what? I want to show the proper appreciation for her and what she's done and what she's trying to accomplish. So like, you know what? I'm gonna get in there anyway. I'm gonna get my own work in, so I'll be my own client. And this week, those that watched the previous episode number 14, I was like really, really neurologically depleted from 35 reps of the 275 deadlift. Most of the depletion came from the hands. And one of the things I found pretty funny is that even with all of that, when I was practicing with the guitar, I didn't have the same fatigue and discomfort in my forearm that I'm normally used to having. So I thought that was a little weird because I was really, really struggling trying to stretch my hands from the index finger to the pinky along the fretboard. So I was really having a lot of trouble, proper thumb position, curling the fingers, and, just kind of, cradling, I guess, the neck of the guitar. And then, I depleted myself. I depleted myself, via the hands. And then the next day, I was better with the guitar, and I hadn't practiced in several days. That was weird. But today was the real test. It was a physical and a mental test because if anybody that knows the deadlift knows that the hamstrings factor in heavily, and anybody that knows the squat knows. I mean, that really knows the squat. They know that the hamstrings factor in heavily. So I really did push my limits for stress, physical stress tolerance, neurological stress tolerance on Tuesday. And I was not fully recovered. Seditionalist got jokes. Yo, what up, Pickett? Good to see you again. So anybody that knows that if you're moving the way you're supposed to move, the hamstrings feature prominently in your deadlift, and also in the squat. So it was pretty ambitious of me to go for 35 reps on the deadlift at 275. But I think that it was even more ambitious to go for the deadlift. No, to go for the squat today for 35 reps at 225. So last week I did 25 reps deadlift on Tuesday, 25 reps squat on Thursday. And so I added 40% to both lifts. Now, it was ambitious to add 40%. It was ambitious to add 40% then, no doubt. I like how fucking bums just stroll. They're just strolling in the middle of the street against the light with their hands in their pockets. That's what happens when you're a fucking bum. In your mind, there really isn't anything going on in the world because ain't nothing going on in your world. I ended up missing that light, but it's not a big deal because I'm not rushing. But it's just, really interesting how people just think that, the world just revolves around them. It's like, no, the world passed you by, sir. So anyway, it was ambitious to add 40% to the deadlift, but 48 hours later, adding 40% to the squat while still recovering from the deadlift, that was, some would say, unwise. And let me tell you, I felt like what I was doing was unwise by the end of set 2. So 10 reps into 35, I was really questioning myself. Dr. Evil, what the fuck are you doing? And why are you doing this? The fitness math started to kick in. And then I started thinking, and really started, getting to thinking. If I am able to get these 35 reps in, and I'm going to squat goblet at home on Sunday. I am going to do that. But if I'm able to get this down and then recover from it, how much would I be able to lift next Thursday? Because next Thursday, I'm going to go for just 9 reps. So if I recover from this the way I'm supposed to, what could I accomplish next week? You see, I'm not thinking about, putting stuff off. I'm thinking about how far can I push the envelope. And when I got to set 6 and 7, that's when I really felt it. I'm like, listen, I don't even really feel the pain. I just feel numbness, muscular numbness. I don't feel any discomfort in my knees. I had to take a real inventory to make sure that I was approaching what I was doing in a proper fashion. I was looking for reasons why I should continue instead of looking for reasons why I should back off. And it's not like these thoughts didn't come into my mind. It's that I went and found other thoughts. And I would have been well within reason with, some of my reps weren't the best. I could feel like, I didn't keep my hips tucked like I should have, or what have you. But I didn't find anything in terms of discomfort, movement patterns that suggested that I was going to injure anything. I mean, I had a lot of blood in my hamstrings, which felt, most people wouldn't like that feeling. And I've grown to love that feeling because that means I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on the eccentric phase of the movement. I didn't BS myself. I didn't listen to the excuses. And I knew that if I would have stopped after what I did last week, it would have still been an improvement over last week, but I would not have been satisfied. And I think that some of us quickly forget the disappointment that we feel in ourselves when we don't measure up to what we know we're capable of. We're very, very quick to forget that disappointment. We're very slow to forget the disappointment that others provide for us. But when we disappoint ourselves, you feel the feeling acutely and it goes away very quickly. We're very quick to forget the times that we disappoint ourselves. And then, one of the ways that helps us to forget our personal disappointments with ourselves is that we BS ourselves, we rationalize, we make excuses. But one of the things that you cannot replace is the feeling of accomplishment when you set a low goal, a mid goal, and a high goal, and you give yourself every opportunity to BS yourself, and you still don't. Because my low goal would have been 25 reps today. That was the low goal because that would have been at least what I did last week. The mid goal would have been 6 sets. That would have been 30 reps. And it would have been more than what I did last week while under more fatigue than last week. And any reasonable person could be forgiven. I love those hips, lady. Keep running. You are going to marry a guy that makes a lot of money. If you haven't already, you are gorgeous. And the high goal was 35 reps. And traditionalists, you might think that what you said is philosophical, but what you said not only works philosophically, it also works neurologically. What you just said there is the overload principle. For those that don't know, the overload principle states that you cannot adapt until you exceed your capacity. And capacity could be anything. It could be mental stress, neurological stress. That stress, can be further broken down by volume or resistance or tempo or shortened rest periods. If you continue to keep doing stuff that your body is not prepared to do in a safe manner, you will force your body to continually adapt to the next stress level. So while 25 reps would have been a maintenance of, 25 reps would have been a proper maintenance of what I did last week. I would not have necessarily fallen behind, but I would not have gotten the neurological benefit of going beyond what my body was prepared to do today. So 6 sets would have been a victory, but it would not have been the victory. And I hope that you guys can understand that. So a lot of you guys have all kinds of goals. Some of you have fitness goals. Some of you have professional goals. Some of you have personal goals. In order for you to be properly prepared for the victory you want, you have to be willing to go into stuff not entirely properly prepared. So when people say that there's no time like the present, when people say, you know, there's no perfect time to do this, that, or the third, you know, they're right. That means, you know, if you haven't seen a friend in 5 years, oh, but I want to spend an entire weekend with them. Hey, you might want to go visit them, even if you only have, you know, a half a day to spend with them, because there is no perfect time. There's no perfect time. You do what you can do, and as much as you can do while you can do it. And then you'll start to see opportunities to do more open up. And that's, you know, what I've learned, you know, in my maturation, um, you know, as a coach, and also as a client of myself. Of course, when I get more money, I'll be someone else's client. But that feeling of victory felt pretty good. I don't know, for some reason now, I feel like it's wearing off, and I have to find a way to do more. I did slack a little bit this week for my upper body lifts, but I went really hard on the lower body, and I'm proud of that. And I want to do more to be proud of. So I think I just got that hunger to perform, and I know that I've got to do, and um, I'm so proud of myself that now I'm just focused on the next goal, you know, just focused on the next goal. So, but I think about the disappointment I would have had if I would have left any of those 1 to 10 extra reps, if I would have left any of them on the table. Yeah, I would have definitely felt that psychologically. I don't think I would have been very happy with myself at all. Imagine if we held ourselves to the standard that we hold others to. Imagine. So, you know, I have this goal where I really want to be able to squat 3 plates. And because I think the most I've ever properly squatted for a single rep was 275. You know, I really want to reach the powerlifting total of 1,000. especially as a skinny, tall guy. And with my numbers being 225, 425, and 275, I'm 75 pounds away total. And that was, a few years ago. So to come back at age 38 after back injuries and depression and the Rona and all this other shit, you know, getting their squat to 315 would just be fucking awesome for me. I'd be, and the thing is, that means that, I'm right now, I'm about 90 pounds away, working weight. So I did 35 reps in about 35 minutes today. So that was probably like 80, 85% of max, somewhere in there. So uh, that means 1 RM, I'm probably somewhere in that 275. Like I might be I might be strong enough to do a single rep at 275, maybe even 285 with my mentality. At this age, testosterone is supposed to be, diving off a cliff and all of that. I understand the biology. I understand that I'm on somewhat borrowed time, but imagine as you're over the athletic hill, now you're stronger or getting stronger than you ever were before. Imagine that. Now imagine you don't have to imagine it. That is reality. And it really changes your outlook on the entirety of your life, not just, what you do in the gym. You could take that um, you could take that no BS, no excuse mentality into the rest of your life, and you can reap similar level benefits in your life. That's why I always say that fitness is an allegory for life. A lot of the principles that you see that work in the gym, and you look at the approach that the most successful people have, you'll see a mirroring of that. People in business, people who are successful in their personal relationships. My father was talking to me recently about seasonal affective disorder. A lot of people don't understand that every human being has that disorder to varying degrees. What causes it to actually be a disorder is how severe it is. But everybody gets some form of seasonal affective disorder because we are affected by how near or far the sun is from us, and it's seasonal. So one of the things that you can do is really push the limits of what you achieve, especially as men. It may not apply to women necessarily as much as it applies to men, but if you're out there really doing the things that you know are valuable to yourself and to other people in your life, you can keep those good feeling chemicals going through your brain, and you don't need weed, you don't need alcohol, you don't need you don't need MDMA, you don't need any of that stuff. That sustained good feeling in knowing that there was no BS and no excuses. And even when the BS creeps into your mind and you can find valid excuses for why you could get away with not doing your best. When you shirk off that thinking, it's I've never done any of those drugs, but I can pretty much guarantee you that this feeling is more substantial and it lasts longer and is more beneficial overall. So, not saying that, if you don't enjoy, I'm not saying that if you enjoy those other things, you shouldn't enjoy them, but a lot of people that do those chemicals, they're doing it because they're trying to feel better. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. But I can tell you that I feel better than I ever have when I know that I've done everything that I can do to be the best at whatever it is I'm trying to be. I had a feeling of I had one of those good feelings. I woke up today and I had some really positive feelings toward one of the ladies, and she responded real flat because it was like real early in the morning, and it did take some of my energy from me. But then, I recognized that I had grown as a person because I was able to stay I was able to stay present enough to realize what the situation is. Oh yeah, Mr. Willenick. Yeah, Jocko. Yeah, I gained a little bit of inspiration from him from Joe Rogan. But yeah, like um, I was able to, employ my emotional intelligence in a proper way that didn't make her feel bad because she didn't have energy early in the morning. Where, if I wasn't as mature, I would have directed frustration towards her for not having the energy that I wanted her to have in that moment. And then I realized that, having the proper approach uh, adds to the strength of our relationship. I could have gone the other way and I would have been within my rights. I would have had a valid excuse, right? But guys, the valid excuse, if you're not accepting them, things tend to get better. When I let her know, I was like, hey, she's asking me what's wrong because she can sense, I'm like, listen, it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. Just kind of, flatten things out. Don't worry about it. You know, and let her know that the love is there. So this is not added pressure on her on top of all the other pressure she has on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to add to that. Whereas in the past, when I was thinking a little bit more of myself than I should have, I would have made it all about me and not think about what she's going through. And I thought about that. I could sense the maturation. And there's an accomplishment in that. So, I did that show on TSP about some of the things to watch out for, in this entitlement. We men too, we have to watch out for the things that we think that we're entitled to. The world thinks that we all think that we're entitled to a woman's body, but 99% of men know that we're not. Even the guys that, even the e-parists, the Isubas, shout out to Donovan Sharp. They know that they are not entitled, but they'll try to take it anyway because they don't care, right? Um, but sometimes our entitlement is we think that we're entitled to somebody else's emotional energy, that we're entitled to somebody's affection on demand. Well, I feel affection, you should too. And no, you know, we're not really entitled, even from our partners, we're not really entitled to anything from them. So, to have the presence of mind to, not to understand the situation and then know that, you could do more good than harm by taking the pressure off of someone else. In a weird way, it also takes the pressure off of you. The maturation process for a lot of things in life, it occurs every day. I think that having an active appreciation for these things, I don't know, it just makes life just a little bit more valuable. The impact that you can have on someone else's life, you know, because of the little things. So, I hope that you guys are having a decent Thursday. It's a little bit overcast today. A little overcast today. Wow, this guy doesn't think that he should have to stop at stop signs. That's cool, I guess. Um, uh, yeah, I've got a client at like noon or something like that today. So, um, so what I'm gonna do is that was a little confusing. Um, I think I'm gonna go home, and I think that I'm gonna start on the upper body stuff because my time management was shitty getting out of the house this morning, so I didn't get in the chest work in the gym I wanted. But thankfully, I can get that most of that work in. I really wanted to see if I can get that first set of chest press it with the 80-pound dumbbells. Seditionalist did a 6-mile walk today. Very nice. Very, very, very nice, sir. You get my respect. Anybody that does cardio gets my respect. You know why? Because I'm not doing any goddamn cardio. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all cardio guys. I'm gonna lift. All right? I'm gonna fucking lift. Fuck your cardio. You know how you know you're having a good day? When nobody takes your goddamn parking spot. Oh, let's get it. So I'm gonna finish watching Kevin Samuels live stream from last night. Um, getting my 100 push-ups. Um, yeah, but guys, I guess I'll leave you with this thought. I don't want you guys to think about how tired you are all the time. What I'd rather you guys do is search for the little bit of energy that you have left. Don't think about what you don't have. Search for what you do. I think that that'll help you guys a lot. There's a lot of physical and psychological application for that. And know that I respect you guys. I really do appreciate a lot of the support that you guys give on a regular basis. Um, I know that I'm going to be out and about on Saturday morning, but I don't know. Normally, I don't do these live streams with the ladies in the car. Maybe I might do that I might do that on Saturday. I don't anticipate doing that. But, normally when the ladies are in the car, I like to, give them my attention. Um, or listen to music. Um, but who knows? I might decide to get up and go to the gym early tomorrow morning. And if I do that, then you guys will see me tomorrow morning, or in traditional this case, tomorrow afternoon. But anyway, much love and respect to every single one of y'all. Have a wonderful day.